Now let's get to reaction from all of this from the chairman of the Congressional Black Caucus, Congressman Steven Horsford of Nevada. Thanks for coming on. So you heard former President Trump say Harris, quote, Vice President Harris, quote, happened to turn black, suggests that she could be a DEI hire, and repeat the claim that he has been the best president for black Americans since Abraham Lincoln. What is your reaction to that?
Well, first, thank you for having me on. Tomorrow, the Vice President Kamala Harris will join members of the Congressional Black Caucus in Houston to lay one of our colleagues to rest, Representative Sheila Jackson Lee, after a lifetime of public service and legacy. And what I have to say to the former president is he just doesn't get it. His remarks are offensive, they're insulting, they're racist. The Vice President is a lifetime member of the Congressional Black Caucus. She participated when she was in the United States Senate. She is a graduate of Howard University. She is a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. But more important than that, she has been a governing partner with President Biden on legislative achievements that have driven down black unemployment to historic lows, created 3 million black new businesses in the last 3 years, lifted 50% of black children out of poverty into the middle class through the child tax credit, and so many other achievements, including $16 billion for HBCUs, and they just announced another $2 billion for black farmers. But Donald Trump can't talk about policies because he has no ideas. The only ideas he has are those of the Trump Project 2025, which will devastate black families and black communities across this country.
Yeah, and we've seen Trump and his campaign really try to distance themselves from Project 2025. But as we know, at least 140 members who worked for him worked on that project. When it comes, though, to the rhetoric we heard from Trump today, right, and what he said after, really doubling down on it, as Kristen just laid out there, and saying that he crushed it. What are you bracing for as we wait to hear from him at this rally? Are you afraid it's going to get uglier from here?
Well, Donald Trump has always had disregard for black people. He asked black America when he was running the last time, what do you have to lose? And then appointed the most extreme Supreme Court justices, which have taken away our fundamental rights. Trump's Project 2025 would eliminate funding for the Department of Education. It would roll back benefits under Medicare and Social Security. It would deny black women going through birth care access to care, as he's trying to do for all women in this country. The Vice President, by contrast, is about protecting our freedoms. She's working to protect a woman's right to make her own health care choices. She's protecting our freedom to learn and the freedom for black-owned businesses to thrive. These are the issues, though, that Donald Trump doesn't want to talk about because he has a failed record when it comes to black America compared to that of the Vice President.
But I do want to follow up on that because these remarks today, you know, are nothing new coming from Donald Trump. He has a history of making racist remarks, going back to promoting the birtherism lies against former President Obama, and yet the presidential race is still in a dead heat. I mean, tens of millions of Americans continue to support him. What does that say to you about the current state of the country?
Well, this is more of a reflection, unfortunately, of the times. There are some people who want to take us back. Donald Trump and MAGA Republicans in Congress reflect that. It's Vice President Kamala Harris and Democrats in Congress, led by Leader Hakeem Jeffries, who are focused on moving us forward. There's actually a ton of energy, excitement, and enthusiasm in my home state of Nevada, which is a battleground state. We've had thousands of people signing up to volunteer because they understand the stakes of this election and what it means to them. Yes, Donald Trump has no regard for the vice president, but guess what? It's the American people who will have the power on election to determine our future, not Donald Trump.
Just a very quick follow-up, though, because in our recent CNN polling, 15% of black people in this poll support Trump. What do you say to them, given what you just laid out?
Well, to be clear, a certain segment of black voters have always supported the Republican Party. That's their choice. 85% of black Americans and an even greater number of black women and black men particularly in key battleground states like Nevada, like Wisconsin, like Pennsylvania, like Georgia, understand the stakes about our future, our economic well-being. The fact that Vice President Harris has talked about how we're going to empower families through work, wages, and wealth to help lift families so that we can become the owners of our homes and owners of our businesses because we want to thrive. It's Donald Trump who wants to take us backward. It's Vice President Harris who wants to move us forward.
All right, Congressman Steven Horsford, thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate it.
Honored to be here.